So far we discussed in SCCM. In SCCM there are mainly we have three key areas. One is software distribution, patch management, and operating system deployment. In that we have completed software distribution, like how we can deploy in software distribution. Like if you go to SCCM console, like if you want to open SCCM console on the server, you need to go to start menu, then down arrow. You need to search for the configuration manager, that is which is a SCCM console which you need to open. So when we are opening SCCM console, so here there will be a 4 tabs. We have the main key areas which are in the software library folder. Application management is nothing but a software distribution. Patch management is nothing but software updates. OSD we can see it in 3 folders. These are the main 3 things which we mostly work on SCCM. So if you expand application management, we can deploy applications and packages to end users. This is nothing but when we are installing any software manually, we are deploying the same thing via package and application model to the end users. Is it clear what I'm saying to you? So generally when we install a software, what happens? We will get a prompt, right? We'll get I accept from, and sometimes next, some few nexts, and then finally finish. Am I correct or wrong? We'll get some wizard. Am I right? When you're clicking any software, what happens? It will ask you some prompts. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
So to avoid all this, so this in SCCM application packaging team, what they will do? They will do a silent installation. Means when you double click on a software without knowing to the user, it backends it in. There no prompts will be shown to you. No prompts. Only in backend it will install a particular applications. That in that way we'll deploy a application and package from SCCM. Is it clear? So we have deployed to devices. Am I right? We have deployed to systems.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong? But
Yes.
we can also deploy to the users, and also we can deploy to the users as well. So let me enable the discovery. Let discover for a few users. So let me enable user discovery to get the users from the Active Directory. Go to the properties, enable the discovery. Let me select the OU which is from AD. Let me select only, we have SCCM admin user. Yes, these are users which are we created. Let's select all and discover all the users which is there in SCCM. It takes some time, it will come. So generally if you see in SCCM, if in on the user machine, we will open a software center to communicate, to download and install any software. Am I right? Let me open any of the client machine. Let me power on the client machine. So so when we targeted to device collection, 90% of companies they will target to 90 to 95, they will target to device collections. Is it clear what I'm saying to you? Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take an example. System 1 and system 2. If we target to system 1, one deployment, any user log into the machine, he can see the application. Am I right or wrong? In system 1, if 10 users are getting logged in, 10 users can see the application in software center.
Yes.
Yes. So when we deploy to a user collection, if some Ramesh, we deployed one application to the user Ramesh. Okay, user Ramesh. So user Ramesh is getting logged into the system too. Some, for example, his shift is from 8 to 6. He is logging 8 to 6 p.m. So if we deploy to the one application to user, he can see if he log into this machine, when he logs in, when he opens the software center, he only can see. If some other user is getting logged into the system too, if the application is not deployed to the some Ravi's user, he cannot see that particular application. Am I clear what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
What is the use of deploying to the devices and users? So device collection, any normal applications will deploy, like free versions are not much cost costliest software. So licensed based applications will deploy to the user collection. Why? Because they has to pay some huge amount. One license costs you 1,50,000, 2 lakhs. If you put a device, all can use, but you cannot track the licenses. In this way, they will limit to the user collection. So then they will allocate that license to the particular user. Mostly, user collection will be used for that. Or what they will do, they will deploy all users. Some applications will be their free versions. What they will do, all users they will deploy as available, so users can see and install at any time. Am I clear what I'm saying to you? Either any free softwares, they can put all softwares and available from the software center, they can see and download the particular software. Is it clear? Both ways they can use. Hello. So let me see if in the users came to the SCCM. Okay, let me log in. So if you open software center, this is the main component where from if you push anything from SCCM, you can see it in this console to download and install the particular. If you deploy application, you can see it here. If you deploy patches, you can see it here. If you deploy operating system, you can see it here in this node. If installation status, what is the process, you can see it in here. And there is an also options will be there. Users can set the business hours. For example, if you set the business hours 10 a.m. to some 5 p.m. in that deployment, user can, so power manage computer maintenance will be there. You can set the maintenance. So for example, if you are in meeting, it won't be installed, because if you set the business hours in that time, if you deploy any application or patches, it won't install at this time. When you are in presentation mode, suspend the software center activities. For example, you are in a client meeting, you are sharing your screen, you are presenting some PPT. If you check this bar, what happens? In your presenting mode, no software will be installed, it will be on hold. What happens if you deploy patches? Automatically it reboots, it impacts to the that particular user. Am I right or wrong? So suspend software center activities. Any activity if you deploy to the in business time, if user is in presenting mode, that will be keep on hold to avoid some escalations. Is it clear?
Yes.
So if you set this, automatically install and uninstall required softwares and restart computer only outside the specific business hours. So if you set some business hours to 10 for morning, like 10 a.m. to some 5 p.m. So in this 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. no softwares will be installed. Out of this time only it will install because if the user sets this maintenance. If you deploy, what happens? Simply it will be in failed state because user set some maintenance because the priority the user. But this can be we can disable it from the SCCM, but by default it will be allowed to change. Is it clear? This where user can configure to do something like to stop some deployments within the business hours if you want to stop. So let's check here applications. If okay, if you see, let me go to SCCM applications. We have created some applications in SCCM. If you see in that user, there is some restart command only is there. Let me deploy this application as available. So how do I need to do? Right click, deploy, browse. I will need to select all users. I will take an example all users. Okay, next, next. Here I need to keep available. What is the difference between available and required? Available means it won't forcefully install on the end user machine. If you give a required means next 30 minutes it's forcefully installed on the end user machines. That is the difference. Is it clear? If you want to put only to the available means it won't install forcefully on the machines. It only shows the applications in application tab. Am I clear? So once putting this available, next you need to say specify when it has to available. Now after 1 week it has to show in the software center or tomorrow. Any date you can give. Then hit. It has 2:54 p.m. Let me change it to the current time is 7. So it will show if I keep 2:44 p.m. I need to wait still again 5 hours to show it in software center. Am I right or wrong? Because here the time is 8 a.m. in this machine. Let me change it to same time 7:54 a.m. for display in software center and notification. Next, next. We have deployed to one of the collection. If you go to the deployments, you can see what are the machines you have targeted, what is the purpose you have targeted. Is it clear? So then what we need to do, if we want to visible the software in the software center, you need to wait at least 60 minutes to get it visible here because the client machine will contact only in every client will contact in 60 minutes to the SCCM server. What is the default time it will connect to the server?
60 minutes.
60 minutes. If you want to change, you can change it in from the client settings, but by default time to check the server is 60 minutes. So now if you want to forceful the installation in next 5 minutes, then what you need to do, go to the start control panel. There is one of the key component in SCCM to communicate the client that is called configuration manager. So if the client, this is the client software, if once you install the client software, you will get this. Then if you go to the action, these are the list of actions are available. If for the machine based, you need to deploy machine policy and retrieval cycle, but we are targeted to user policy. So we need to initiate user policy and retrieval cycle. Am I clear what I'm saying to you? For device we deploy, when you get the policies, we will get machine. But when you are deploying to user, if you get the policies, you need to put user policy retrieval cycle. Hello. Am I clear what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
You need to wait for some time and you can see it. So then also there is a concept in SCCM. There are two important roles for this user based deployment. One is application catalog website point, application service point. There are two roles which are important. If you see, if you go to the SCCM roles, when you are installing any software, let me go to the site server sites. If you want to install any particular role in SCCM, you need to go to the administration, that particular sites and servers. You right click on the server, add site system roles, and hit next. Hit next. If you see here, there are two roles will be the application catalog web service point, application catalog website point. What it will do? Generally, how you're installing any software? By opening software center. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
So if you install this particular roles, user may can also browse the softwares which are available from Internet Explorer. Is it clear? Now we are opening via one of the particular software which is installed on the end user machine, software center. Okay. But once we configure these two roles which are in SCCM, then user also can see the same some list of softwares which are available to the users in the Internet Explorer while accessing one website. Is it clear what I'm saying to you? So let me install this role, select these two roles, hit next. How you install? Cancel. Let me reopen again. Start configuration manager. 90% of companies will not use this option. Some companies will use, or 10% of companies. Okay. By default they will enable but won't deploy. But mostly 90% of companies will target only to the devices. Some 10% of companies will target to the users also. Is it clear? So let me install the role. Right click, add site system role, then hit next. Select these two roles which are available. Application catalog, web service point, application catalog, website point. Select next. IAS default website it will create using a port 80. Hit next. So server name, IAS website. So it will create one website under the inet mgr. If you open inet mgr, there is a default websites already available under sites. If you expand default website, there are some websites are available which are management point and distribution point. New more website will be adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 are their sites. After installing, these two sites will be getting added. Next, give your organization name. I'm taken a Wipro something. Next, then done. Wait for some time. The role will be getting installed. Once you configure this role, if you go to the administration and set client settings, this is very important. We will discuss this topic in different day. So when you go to the client settings, go to the default settings. There are plenty of options available here. So if you see the client policy, 60 minutes. This is the policy where clients will communicate to the server. If you change that to the 30 minutes, what happen? The clients will communicate within 30 minutes of time. Am I clear?
Yeah.
So here there is a restart button. So if any softwares are required a restart, if you put 90 minutes. So after installing a software, after 90, if you install a software at 1 p.m., then it restarts after next 1.5 hours. Is it clear? Deadline time to the user. If you want to increase to 3 hours, you can change it to 240 or something around that time. So after installing software, it restarts only after 3 hours of time. all the settings on the end user machine will be managed from here. Same way here, if you see software distribution evaluation will run on every 7 days. What is the software development evaluation? If you go to the actions, there is one action will be there, application deployment evaluation cycle. This cycle will run automatically on how many days on the end user machine?
For every 7 days.
For every 7 days. What is the use of it? If you deploy a software A, you uninstall the software on the second day. Okay, you deploy. We have in SCCM we deployed Google Chrome. You uninstall the software on the second day. Again, once you evaluated this software, the application will be again installed because it will re-evaluate all the softwares which are deployed to your machine. Am I clear? If it is a required mode, even the user is uninstalled, it will install again when the policy runs on this user machine. Am I clear? So software deployment evaluation cycle will use in this way. Here there is a computer agent will be there for getting deadlines. So for any application, if you deploy, what is the deadline needs to be used? That's one. Here you need to configure some website. Default application catalog website point is none. You need to set the application to automatic detect or some other thing. So it will create, if you put SCCM internet user, then it okay. So it's add default application to catalog website to the internet trusted zones. Then we can add, that's it. That is two options we can select. Then use new software center. Yes, it's already there. Nothing we will change here. Okay, by default options. There is a PowerShell script policy is there. If you want to deploy any PowerShell script, all sign must be there because so you can execute the on your end user machines the power. These are default settings will be enabled. We will enable only the website from here. Default there will be none will be there. We will enable the website and hit OK. Apply OK. So when you go into the end user machine, so by default there is a link will come under here. Which one? If you see there will be no link is enabled still now. Am I right? Is there any web link is attached here anywhere?
No.
No. So after once we initiate the machine policy, because after enabling the machine has to get the new policies. Once we enable the machine policy, the settings will be modified. If you see IT organization is there. Am I right? Here? Hello.
Yeah.
So if you want to change this IT organization to your company name, that also you can modify in this same client settings. If you see, go to the client settings, computer agent. Here there is an organization name will be there. If I keep like TCS is the company, okay, then I hit OK. Once after changing this policy, come to here and initiate machine policy, wait for 2 minutes. Once the policy is received, the IT organization will change this to TCS. The software center customization, all settings will be there in that. Close and reopen. In meantime, once after receiving the policies, then it will change some. It takes some time. See, Google Chrome came as an available. As it's we change it in that particular application, it's changed to Wipro. See here, if you see, open the application catalog website. Is it there in the installation status?
Yeah.
So let me go to the Windows 10 machine and open the software center. If you see, is it is not highlighted? Am I right or wrong? In the Windows 10, because we are not initiated any policy on this machine. We have enabled the software that in SCCM server. But when you go to the installation status, still the policy had not yet received. It is in blank state. Is it clear? Whenever the first machine policy initiates on the user machine, then only this will be highlighting because the policies will get received. Is it clear what I'm saying to you? Hello. Because you change the options in SCCM server. It will reflect only once the machine policy is arriving to the end user machine. Any policy it has to implement. The policy has to reach to the machine. Then only that particular policy will apply. Is it clear? I will run this. So what you can do after doing this, wait for 2 or 3 minutes, then close the console and open the console. Then what happens? It will be highlighting to your, if you go to the installation status, still no policy yet reached to this. Wait for some more time. So then see, it is highlighted. Then what is the use of difference between the software center and then this application catalog? You, it's asking for username, password. So and also this software, this requires a Silverlight. After installing the Silverlight only, it will get installed. Sorry, it will get visible. Is it clear? So if it is internet, we need to download the Silverlight component. So after installing the Silverlight, we can see it only the web browser. Then what is the use of this particular application catalog? Using this application catalog, you can request an approval. Means what? For example, whenever you're deploying any software, whenever you're deploying any software as an available, go to the deployments and deployment properties. Requires an administrator approval. If you tick this mark, what happens? The users cannot forcefully install. Whenever, if you can see in the softwares in the software center, let's see in this example, Google Chrome came. It's already installed. Okay. If you go to the application, you can see this application, particular application. Whenever he clicks install, it won't install because when we put as required, he will get a request to the SCCM server under the application approval. Once you approve this manually only, then only the user can install. Am I clear what I'm saying to you? You have an authority to approve the licensed based applications. Without your approval, he cannot install that particular applications. So 7-zip is there. Let me manually uninstall this particular application. Then we'll deploy to, because it's already installed manually before. Let me uninstall. Then what I will do, I will deploy which is application called 7-zip. Right click. Okay. Deploy. I will deploy as a all users. Okay. Next. Next. I will click here. Required approval. Required administrator approval for the user request in this application. Next. Start time. What is the time? 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Next. Next. Default options. Next. Next. Then finally, we need to check clearly which collection you are targeting, whether available or required. Available means it won't install forcefully. So once after deploying this particular 7-zip software, if you want to see it in software center, what you need to do? If you want to see it in the software center, you need to initiate a policy on the end user machine. Open configuration manager, go to actions, As it is a user-based deployment, you need to initiate user policy retrieval cycle. Wait for 5 minutes, then you check your 7-zip software here. Once you getting here, you can click on start and install that particular software to your machine. See here, 7-zip is available because we have initiated user-based policy. Let me click here. See here, it's asking for a request, not for an install. Am I clear what I'm saying to you? If you go to Google Chrome, it's showing an install. But when we are go opening a this particular application, so you need to say this is local IT. We are installing software. Or if you're a user, I want this particular software. I already purchased the license. This is so and so. Already purchased the software. This is my PO number. Means they will give some number once you purchase. Then if you request, the request will submit. Then you can see the request in the application approval. If the you can deny this application if the application is wrong. So if you can deny your PO number not matching in the with us. So you can chart in this way. You can deny again this software again the what happens once the user opens this particular application, he can see your request the application is denied for details history. You see here your PO number matching not matching with us. So again he can request. Sorry, let me check and this is my new PO. User requested again. So again the request will come to the SCCM admins for the licensed based applications. Requested came. So then you will approve. Yes, now we can see this request. Is it clear what I'm saying to you? In this way, you can control the licensed based application. But if you deploy devices, you cannot control the this such type of request. Then see here, once it's approved, you can see install button. Then you can install from the software center. Is it clear? Hello.
Yeah.
In this way, licensed application, if you deploy to users, then you can get the approval request. Okay. In such a way, you can do it. Am I clear? That is what application deployment, website point and website deployment. That approval request only comes to the user based deployment. And also, we for reporting we have one role. So we have installed only application catalog. But if you go to monitoring, if you go to reports, by default there will be 400 reports. Is there any reports now in this console? Is there any report showing under the reports?
No, no.
No. So if you want to get the reports, you need to enable reporting service point role. Where you need to go? Again, administration, servers. In company, they will install only once. They will won't install for every time. First time initially only they will enable because in our test lab we need to enable for the first time. So right click on the server, add site system roles, next, next reporting service point. In interview they may ask you, tell me 10 roles which you know. Already we have no DP and MP. Just now we have learned two roles: application catalog website point, application web service point. Then this is reporting service point. If you install this role, select please verify succeeded. Reporting service native. You need to give the account to configure. Let me give SCCM. admin account. Give that one, hit next. Only we will select verify and user account, hit next. That's it. It will start getting installing the role. It takes 10 minutes to 10 the sometime. You can also see the SCCM server logs. Go to the D drive, program files, configuration manager, and go to the logs. All service logs will be in the same location. Once the role is getting installed, you can see SSRS log will be generated. Still not yet generated. You can see date modified. You can see then all new modified logs will come on the top. Then you can see what are the logs which are modifying. SSRS.msa means software installation log. It is still getting installed. Exit code 0 successfully installed. How you know exit code 0 is success? You need to go to tools and go to error lookup and look for 0 and enter. It's saying operation complete successful means role is complete successfully installed. Then also there is log SSRS setup. This is also one of the installation log. This is also saying installation was successful. Then the main log would be SRSRP. If you open the log now, it will create one URL. It will create all the reports into the SCCM database. It takes like 10 to 15 minutes time. All the reports will be generated here, like patching report, OSD report, software report, application package. Every reports in SCCM, there are defaultly 400 plus reports are available to check the reporting. In future, if you deploy a machine to 100 users or 1000 users, you need to get the list of users. How many are success, how many are failure? Am I right? Using these reports, you can see that particular. There are some errors, you do not be worried. It will be a backend error, so it will create all the entries in some time. Once it's created, successfully created, then you can see it in monitoring. Under reports, you can see the particular report. The website will be enabled. Even the reports can be accessed via Internet Explorer or Google Chrome. But best recommendation is open Internet Explorer, type this SCCM report, so the reports will be open in the SCCM for you. Is it clear? Once after installing the particular load, we'll wait for some time. See, reports are getting, folders are getting created. Deployment report created a folder, administrator for security. Like this, lot of folders will be created, and not here. It will create in the backend in the database. It will create after completion of this. You can see it visible in the under these reports. It takes some time, 5 minutes or some time. All the folders will be created. Under the folders, sub reports will be created. Is it clear? This is only one time activity, and that also initially the project team will be installing this role, because there are 400 reports. For 400 reports, it will create one on one in the database. Then we can, that report will be shown in this once it is created. All are created, then only we can see it's visible. Do you have any other doubts till now?
So generally, we'll use purpose. I mean, in offices, we'll use required or available. So
Required mode, most of the 90% we do required mode. Okay.
okay.
But same way, some of the application also will use a user based as an available mode. So if any user wants, they can install. If there are
So
30,000 machines, only 5,000 machines are important, they will deploy to 5,000. And also they'll make available to the all users. User can see in the software center, if they requested, they can manually install.
okay. I mean, as you told previously that they'll mention all in the mail, right? Like
Yeah, they will give the list. If they are putting a required, they will give the list of machines to deploy to you.
okay,
So if the software is very critical, they will ask you to all machines. They will mention like all workstation, all Windows and all Windows 10,
Okay.
because some softwares may be critical. Am I right or wrong? That
Yeah.
will go to all machines. If it is not very critical, then it will go to a specific set of departments. If it is
Okay.
maybe required to some of the users, maybe in future on their interest, they will keep available to all users.
Okay.
Or it needs only to particular department as an available. You need to create a sub collection, user collection, and make it available to only particular department. For example, if you see, there are a lot of departments will be there: HR, finance, and all. HR, finance will be there. Finance team requires only that finance. But sorry. So when you're deploying any application to finance, it not requires to HR. Am I right? If you
Yes.
separately create one collection for finance and deploy as an available. For example, if you deploy some Google Chrome, it's not very urgent now. In production, it has 55. You're deploying 670, but your company application may only work on that 55. Then you won't target as required. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
But if some users were very agreeably to work on new version of Chrome, at that time you put as available. Okay, user can see. Okay, the 70s came. We can manually install. They forcefully. And then I'm not talking about Google Chrome generally. If any other application related to like that, they will put as available. Because if you install some of the applications, the end user may impact. Some of the application won't work. It work only in the version 55. I'm giving an example. 55. So once you deployed forcefully, the existing application may stop working. If you deploy available, if user does not using that particular application, he will install manually. Or he doesn't know he install manually, then we'll get a ticket. So after installing software, it's not working. Though you need to uninstall the software, install the existing version software.
Okay.
Here. Or
Yeah.
you unfortunately deploy to all machines to the 70, then you need to uninstall all and install back all 55. Requester who is asking, they have to aware whether this is work or not. Is there any impact? He has to analyze, because in the testing, that is what pilot. After deploying software, all applications are getting work, because no, some application will not work only in some particular browsers, will not work in some other browsers, because developer will be assumption they've developed in the particular version or particular things will be there. Only some specific related application, business critical applications. Okay,
Okay.
it depends purely on the criticality of the application, how many users you are deploying. See, waiting for 1 minute means successfully created the SSRS website check health means done. Then you come to the reports. See, all reports came 478. Am I right or wrong? If
Yeah.
you search here for software distribution, which is our, or you can categorize it here. Click on category, so it will update like software collection, software content. If you see software distribution package, but if you want to check the package deployment, right click run. Then you need to select the program name which we have deployed yesterday. Select ping test. Okay. Then view report. If you deploy to 100 machines, you can see ping test came. Click on this one deployment, and you can see success means one machine is two machines are succeeded. If you click here, you will get the two machine names. In this way, you can see the report. If you want to download, here there is an option to save in the Excel format, Excel PDF for your reporting. How many machines success and failed? Is it clear? In the same way, if you see under software distribution, application management, application monitoring will be there. If you see here there is application basic and advanced. This is the report for the your application deployment. Right click run. Here you need to choose what is the application name, application. Then here you need to choose the particular application name. Okay. Then you need to choose the specific collection name which you are targeting. Collection name. Then finally you need to click on view report, and you can see the report over here. See the report. One is success. We deployed only one is success. If you click on success, then you will get the list of machines which are succeeded, list of machines which are failure, and you can export this report to Excel sheet. For L2 engineer, success is not important. They will click on error. Am I right or wrong? They will click on error. They will take machine. They will do a troubleshoot on these machines. From this report, they will get troubleshooting. So if you see here, go click on going to reporting, click on SCCM reports. It is redirected to a website, SCCM reports. By default, what happens? There is some security enabled in the Internet Explorer. The website will not show. Then what you need to do? Click on settings, next Internet Explorer. If there is any security, high is there. So the website may not be open. Let me uncheck this one. Apply. Okay. Then refresh. It's asking for a username password. Let me show it in this Windows 10 machine. Any machine you can access that particular reports. By default, some security settings will not work here. So it's open. So first time when it's open, there is also some settings need to do. Scripts are disabled. So you need to enable even the going to Internet Explorer, security. For the first time, go to the custom level. Then if you click on S scripts, it will go to S. So scripting you need to enable, like let me scripting, active scripting disabled, enable. Okay, okay. If you refresh, this will gone. So even in the Web Explorer, you can see the reports from any machine, not only from SCCM server. If you copy from your Windows 7 machine or a Windows 10 machine, any laptop within the network, you can access the reports. With your, if you have your user ID has an access. No use of installing SCCM console on that particular machine. Your browser is enough. Go to that particular machine, open the Internet Explorer. On the client machine, any machine, once you log in with the SCCM admin account, if you have permissions, you simply type http://sccm/reports. It's open. Am I right or wrong? Then you can see the reports. Going to the reports, number of reports will be there. Here, if you start it by software distribution, deployment manager, or software distribution A compliance, software update, sorry. We need to go to the software distribution, application monitoring for the application and package. Click on application basic deployment or advanced deployment. Then you can see, select the particular application, then select the particular application name, collection name, hit view report, and you can check the report. Click on in process failure to get the particular machine for a how many machines are success, what is the machine succeeded. You can show, you can see, click on assets. So you'll get the machine details. Am I clear? Hello. This is
Yeah.
where you can see the reporting for the machines from anything you can access. That's it about today's class. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.